All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Pierce's Wildlife Podcast.
Welcome, welcome.
What's up?
Man, we've been talking about it all. We've been gathering the plan.
Yeah.
And I think we got a good idea of where we're going to roll with this. Before we get too far into it, though, I just want to talk about a few key things that we kind of are going to lead into the episode. But first thing is, guys, we appreciate y'all bearing with us. We're sorry for not posting Monday. We had a church trip last week. We had baseball games and soccer games, and I mean, it's just been kind of a crazy.
Always going.
Yes, it has been a crazy season. So y'all
appreciate your patience.
Yep. Thank y'all so much. One thing I wanted to just kind of kick off real quick. First of all, actually, Brett is not on this week. That was with security with the Masters. He will be on within the next week or so, or the next episode or two. He's going to come on and share some insight. It's going to be great, but there was just I couldn't get it. We weren't really sure when we were going to record this episode and all that. So, the long story short, we're just going to let y'all know that will be coming, and that's going to be a great one.
Yep.
But anyways, so me and my buddy Todd Garner and Nick Garner was talking at the shop the other day, which y'all both know them.
Yep.
They were up there, and we got to talking about ducks and deer and trapping and blah, 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 and this and that, which, first of all, I will say they do also trap as well, and we shared a common interest of like, hey, we got to get more people into trapping.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big thing.
Big time.
He actually said, and we're going to talk about this for a split second because it is turkey season. He said that he was trapping his deer lease in Monroe County.
Yeah.
When they first took it over, started hunting there, he said by the time they got through hunting that, within 6 to 8 years, they had no problems seeing 25 to 30 turkeys just traveling through the woods.
Wow.
When they first started, they never saw it. So guys, please.
The work pays off.
If you're interested to learn how to trap, at this point, we would teach you for free.
Yeah.
You guys just
hands on.
Yep, we'll tell you how to do it. We'll tell you the equipment to buy. Please, 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 if you're interested to get into trapping, reach out.
Yep.
Because it needs to be done. It's conservation.
And it's honestly kind of fun. Even though it seems like work sometimes, it's fun work.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah.
But it is so fun.
Yeah.
So that we're just going to move on from there. But he was telling me something I've never thought about. We have been deer hunting and duck hunting pretty much our whole lives. And the long story short that he told me that was so unique was he told me that when he goes on every duck hunting trip, he takes a notebook and keeps it in his boat and writes every bird he kills, the weather, the time, what lake, what day. And so that just kind of made me think, like,
logbook.
Yeah.
How important could that be to being a successful deer or duck hunter?
Yep. Don't let me find that book.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I guarantee you he's got some spots in there.
He's got that thing locked down.
They've killed some ducks.
Oh, yeah.
He told me they killed 180 ducks in Georgia.
This past season?
This past season.
In Georgia.
Out of that boat.
Wow.
That's a pretty good piece
That's
of
a good bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, really, when you take that and combine it, I mean, that's
a lot.
I mean, that's a lot of birds.
That's getting your share.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more.
But I thought that was so cool, which we did talk a little bit. We're going to move past that a little bit. I thought it was really cool, too, because, they do a lot of flathead fishing.
Yeah.
And they've gotten really good at it.
Yeah. Don't they do tournaments or something?
Yeah,
like
they
that?
do tournaments.
Yeah.
They go for 3 to 4 hours now, instead of all night, instead of all day, setting lines, whatever. They'll go for 3 or 4 hours and catch 4 or 5 to 15. He said one night they set 15 hooks, caught 15 flatheads.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah,
it is.
So we're gonna have them on in a couple weeks and have them share some secrets and talk a little bit about that. That'd be really neat to learn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because we've caught some, but not like that.
Yeah.
That would be fun for sure.
Which, going into the next conversation, me and Zach here was just real quick. We'll preface it. We was at the golf course this afternoon, and we don't golf every day. So let's just clear that up.
It seems like we do.
It does, but we don't golf every day. It's probably once a week, sometimes twice a week, depending on the day. But we're out there with some buddies of ours, and we're looking at these two geese right behind a tee box, and Zach says, "That's the male and that's the female." And I said, "Well, how in the world do you know that?"
How do you know?
I said, "Look at the color of them. That one's lighter. That one's darker. It's a drake and a hen."
It was funny because, like, that really sparked the conversation because, like, when you think about it, you can tell tell ducks.
That's
real
right.
easy.
Real easy.
Yep.
But you look at geese and you're like,
You got to kind of look at
wait,
them a little bit.
They look a
you're
lot
right.
alike.
Why do they not look different?
Yep.
They're still waterfowl.
Yep. There's not very distinct characteristics.
All right, but you did look it up.
I did look it up because I was way wrong.
Was you way wrong?
Oh, yeah.
But it was a great observation. Like,
Yeah.
how many duck hunters have thought about that in the past?
We're probably getting judged really hard by geese hunters right now.
Listen, we're not geese
We're
hunters.
not geese hunters.
We'll shoot them.
They're nuisance to us.
To us, though, like, I don't care to kill a goose.
Yeah.
No.
And they're not even that good to eat.
No.
Yeah.
Especially,
A lot of work to make them taste good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've had good geese. You made some one time.
Yeah.
Brian's
I
made
one time
some
that was off the
good one time. But, like, how rare is it to
It was
get
a
a
one
good
and done.
tasting
Yeah.
Canadian geese at that?
Well, that's where
I have
that's where they
heard-
are from Canadian
Right.
Canada.
I have
It
heard
tastes
that.
like bacon.
Right. I've heard from the conversation when we hunted with them people in Arkansas that
Yeah.
blue geese was really good. I've only had the blue geese when he brought us that jerky, and it was really good.
Yeah.
But, like, to me, I'm thinking geese.
Well,
Nah.
we see them at home all the time.
I'm not trying to shoot no goose,
Mhm.
and I ain't trying to eat no goose breast
Poop everywhere.
that's, like,
Yeah.
tastes like tar,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Goose
with a little
poop
bit
and
of
boogie.
iron sprinkled on it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But anyways, all right, so you look it up.
Looking it up. So what I found from the old Google here was males have a little bit, they're a larger body, larger head, and a thicker neck on them. And the females are, and I quote, curvaceous.
Oh
They got
my
the
God.
curves. So they're a little bit more petite.
I guess so.
And the males actually have a higher squeak in their honks, while the females are a little bit more calmer and low tone,
Huh.
which you would think would be the
You
other
think it'd
way.
be the opposite
Yeah.
on that? Yeah.
That's wild.
But
Is that right? Did you say that right?
I think I did.
Can you look that up one more time? 'Cause
think
I-
I did.
I was
What-
thinking you
A
said
little bit higher
the
pitch. on
females had the higher pitch.
No, the males definitely.
Okay, all right.
the
males
males
definitely have
definitely had the higher pitch. How about that?
But I mean, if you think about it with ducks, like majority of the females do have a slightly higher sound to them,
Yep.
Yeah. That's right.
which we're getting ready to come up into a commercial break.
Mhm.
Okay.
And before we get rolling in there, we have two topics that we could discuss. What are y'all leaning towards? Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, you're asking
I'm
me?
asking you. Which one you want to go? Y'all tell me.
If we had to start over.
Okay. All right. So we had two topics that we were kind of discussing. One was if you had to completely start over, and we're going to correlate that and why we got in that conversation from the wildfires.
Yep.
And the other one was, which was the other one?
Worst hunting.
Yeah, and the
experience.
worst hunting experiences and what you would do to prevent that. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about what you would do if you had to completely start over
your
and
hunting
getting
career.
into hunting.
Yep.
Pro Forestry Mulching. If you're ready to get your property in shape for hunting season or just want to upgrade it, Pro Forestry Mulching and Property Services is your go-to for Georgia. They handle home sites, mulching, driveway work, and demo cleanup. They're fully licensed and insured. They offer free estimates and top-notch service. Call them today at 770-865-6164 and tell them you heard it on the podcast. Those guys will do you an excellent job on anything you need, getting your hunting land ready for hunting
That's right.
season.
That's right. Guaranteed.
Give them a call. All right, guys, and we're back here. We're getting ready to start it off.
That's right.
All right, so here's the preface. We were all down at that golf trip last
South
weekend,
Georgia.
and we were in South Georgia, and we were talking about those wildfires, and there was a lot of people that really got consumed by those fires.
Yeah.
Like houses,
Businesses.
trailers, businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the above.
Barns, trucks.
Exactly.
everything.
And like that's big hunting ground down there.
Yep.
And so we got to kind of kicking the idea of like, okay, if you were a new hunter and looking to get into it,
Mm-hmm.
what would be your first kind of ideas of getting into it? Or if you lost everything in, say, a South Georgia wildfire or whatever,
Yep.
what would be the first things you would do? What would be necessary? What would not be necessary to get back into hunting?
Okay.
And so from there, Zach, I'm going to let you lead us off.
Oof. Okay. All right.
Where to start?
Well,
And you ain't got to rush it. Like if you
Yeah.
don't feel
if I lost everything in the fire, do I have lease land already, or I don't have any lease land?
okay, say the lease land.
Because not everybody does have lease land.
Sure. Say the lease land is at a point where it got burned. You're still in it, but they're like not really sure what we're going to do next year.
Probably going to lose it.
You
Okay.
could lose it. You could not lose it.
Right. Which, I mean, okay. First would be, obviously it'd have to get me a firearm or weapon of choice, bow. Getting into that, you could either hit Marketplace up for a bow, try to get one on a deal. Probably wouldn't spend all the money on a really fancy setup, just getting back into it. Rifle wise, might hit up the old Walmart, just get a little 30-06, 30-30, 308, something, 243 even. Don't hate us for saying that, but
Yeah.
I mean, we've killed them with them, so
You mean a 223.
223, yeah.
Yep.
Well, we've done that too.
Yeah.
Kind of go from there, and then as far as trying to find property or land to hunt on, if there's not a lot of options, start looking into public land.
Yeah.
Any local public land or close enough to travel to that didn't get affected by the fires and is still and is habitable and I guess huntable in that sense. And this is another one that some people are controversial, is get a couple cell cams if I'm going public land.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be hard to get out there all the time and check it and set up cameras and watch, see what's going on. And kind of go from there, and obviously go with your gut, or I should say gut, but knowledge,
Yeah, I mean,
deer signs
exactly.
and stuff like that. And really just getting out there and looking.
Yeah.
I mean, you ultimately have to get out there and walk the woods.
Yep. What about you, Pop?
I don't know. This was a tough one.
Yeah, you put me on the spot there.
I think, came down to it and I lost everything. You said something about knowing what we know already now. And so, I mean, you got knowledge of knowing how to hunt. You just lost all your equipment and everything. And you're hunting property apparently too. I think what I would do, my first thing would do would be, and then a lot of my buddies is probably already going to know this. I'd probably talk to some buddies and say, hey, you guys got any stuff you want to get rid of?
Yeah.
Or, some old hunting clothes. You got too many old camos and,
That's
a gun you don't use very much.
Yep.
I mean, if I need to get started, I don't have much money. I might want to try and borrow one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But, it depends on the money matters a lot. I'm just sitting there thinking about it before you was talking about it. I said, man, the amount of hunting equipment and stuff that I have right now has took years to accumulate this stuff. So I would hate that for anybody. So Prayers go out to them people down South Georgia
joke.
that's going through all that right now. And, I think it's getting better. I think it got a little bit of rain on it the other day, but I'm not sure. But, just you don't never know about something like that.
No,
but
you don't.
I think that would probably be what I would do is, talk to some buddies and stuff. But I would, I like the idea, marketplace, because you can find all kind of stuff on there.
Yeah.
Half of our front yard is marketplace.
Walmart's a good idea for some guns and stuff. But I'd try and find something that I wanted to get started with. It could be it ain't got to be nothing major. You just want something that's going to be able to put an animal down to where you can feed your family or whatever you got on
That's
it.
Right.
But, that would be good ideas. Something this ammo don't cost that much. That kind of look for the cheapest ammo, I guess, That's your big one right there, man. That ammo is high dollar. So I'd maybe go into Walmart and look at all them shelves and see which one's the least amount and try and find me that gun.
Yeah. That's a really great point. Like I would have never thought of it like that. Like I would, I think that I would have probably leaned like almost polar opposite. Like, what's the cheapest gun?
Yeah.
But then you think about it, like, okay, if the cheapest gun is a 223, but then your ammo for a deer is $50 a box, but your 30-30 ammo is $23 a box. Like that might be That's a very valid point.
Yeah, I think it would be a smart thing to do. As far as bows and stuff like that, because we like to bow hunt too. I didn't really pick up bow hunting until later in life. I did it early, and I didn't have any good experiences in there. So talking about bad experience, seemed like I stuck a couple of does and I couldn't find them, and I had a big buck come in, and I was looking in my sights, and back then we had a pendulum, and you could pick your bow up and it would turn with you. Your sight was kind of cool. Cool technology, whoever thought that up. But anyhow, and I knew I was dead on with that pendulum, and that deer walked out about 10 yards further back, and I couldn't trust that pin because I knew that pendulum. But which was really weird because the pendulum moves and that pin don't.
Yeah.
But, it was my thing, and I let go on that thing, and it went into a brush pile right over its back and just sounded like a pinball machine running around right there. So,
Dang.
And I seen a nice buck run off because I chose the wrong thing there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's got to do with decisions.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I agree 100%.
But there's a lot of people that get in here and they'll try and hunt and they buy this stuff and don't know if they like it or not. So if you could find somebody that tried it and didn't really like it, that's probably another good place to find some equipment, I would say go to a thrift store for camouflage because I'm sure there's a bunch of it in there. Or Army surplus store, something like that.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or actually, you could just go back old school, find you an old plaid shirt because that's what they used to use for camouflage back in the day.
Yeah.
Plaid.
Yep.
And it'll work fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe a little face paint.
Yeah.
A little face paint.
Yeah.
And really, or a cork. I mean, hey, that's a whole nother conversation for you guys that are not real familiar with face paint. You can take which we use champagne bottles, but you can buy a cork out of a wine bottle, or you can get a cork out of a wine bottle or a champagne bottle, and you take a lighter to it. And when that thing catches on fire, you let that whole thing get hot and smut it up. Man, that's the best face paint you can get.
Yeah.
And then
that's how we start out our hunting, with a bottle of champagne, some mimosas, and then get the cork and smoke it up. That sounds a little weird, don't it?
I hope DNR ain't listening to this. It's just orange juice.
That's a fun duck hunt.
Yeah. But it's funny, though, because it works. And then when you're ready to take it off, a wet
mimosas
paper towel.
or the corks?
Which one?
Yeah.
Which one works?
I don't know. They both work.
I would say they both work.
Yeah.
Man, I wasn't going to go into this conversation, but you know what? We kind of have the time. But real quick before we get no, not the man, but I will tell you before we get into the next before I move on here, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. Right now is the time to be getting your hunting blinds and your feeders out.
It's the time.
You cannot wait any longer.
Today.
If you put them out a week or two before deer season, they're not going to come in there naturally. They're going to feel pressured and all that good stuff. Well, right up the road on Highway 16 is River Grove Supply. They have the Banks hunting blinds and their feeders right there. If you mention this podcast, you'll get an additional 5% off your purchase. If you mention Courier Pop as well, the same, 5% off. They offer free installation and free shooting lane clearing. Shoot them a message on Facebook or go to their website at rivergrovesupply.com.
That's a bargain.
All right, guys, we're back here.
Here we go.
Yep.
So you brought up the mimosa thing.
Sorry.
And I just want to say there was a time in my life where, guys, I know I hate to even say this.
Here we go.
That I literally mention him seriously every episode, but me and my best friend Brian was hunting one morning.
How good a friend is he? He ain't been on here with us yet.
I know. I mean, dang, Brian.
You need to figure out how to get him in on a FaceTime or something.
Episode, I want you to feel bad when you hear this. Dang it.
I love him too because he's like a boy to me.
I know. All right. But, so this morning, and then I'll get into what I would do, I think. But just really, anyways, regardless, here we go. One morning, we are in, I think, Barnesville. And we was hunting a buddy's pond, and they told us we could come hunt it. And we got out there super early, and we was both hungry, so we went to the McDonald's and both got us a McGriddle. I mean, it's early. I'm talking about 4 o'clock in the morning, maybe 3:30 even. I don't know. We got decoys set out and everything.
You got to get there.
We get over to the McDonald's, get us a biscuit. Well, we didn't get nothing to drink. It's 4:30 in the morning. We didn't think about a drink. We just want a biscuit.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we scarfed these McGriddles and biscuits down, whatever we had, and we were thirsty.
Okay.
I'm talking about like fitting to drink just lake water.
Lake water. Ugh.
And then Brian was like, you know what? I got some natural lights in the back of the truck.
How long have they been riding?
So the
there?
next thing you know, to wash these biscuits down at 4:30 in the morning, we both had us a natural light to start off the duck hunt.
Slept for about an hour and then got up and hunted.
Yeah, I mean, really, like,
yeah.
I mean, we've never done that in the past or like any other time, but like that morning, we were so thirsty.
Y'all didn't sleep.
That was the best hunt
Y'all were college age too. Y'all were college age.
I mean, we were 17, 18 years old, but
that's not college age.
I was trying to make it sound better, but you know what? I remembered a story about that, but I was thinking you was.
You're right. We were definitely out of high school. We were probably 19, 20.
Yeah.
20,
Still
21.
Wasn't drinking age.
We were definitely not drinking age.
They had no alcohol.
And there was no reason that there should have been a natural light case riding in that truck. But
well,
you know what?
I can tell you this,
Somebody
it wasn't mine.
No, it was not yours.
Because I wasn't a natty light drinker then.
No. But I just thought that I don't know why well, obviously I know why it kicked it off, but anyways. So I
think like a worse hunting experience. Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Yeah, I know, really.
Sound like a great hunting.
No, that was one of the best. It was fun, man. Like, that was one of the best hunts we've ever had. We did not kill a bird. I don't even think we pulled the trigger.
That's funny.
But anyways.
You probably had to aim at the one in the middle anyway.
Yeah. All right, so if I had to start over, I think that the first thing I would do is I'm with you guys. Like I would search around. I would probably find the cheapest rifle. And at this point, yeah, the cheapest ammo. And I don't know whether that be a 223, 243, 308, whatever that may be. But I would lean towards a $200 to $300 rifle, whatever that looks like. And I would probably put me $100 scope on it. Find one on Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, one of them, I mean, there's a couple of scopes on Amazon that's like $100.
Yeah.
Buy me a round of ammo, get as close as I could, and that deer would not be more than 50 yards out.
Oh,
like I would really make sure. But all right, so then from there, like you're saying, I would go public land hunting.
Yeah.
I'd find me a Home Depot bucket.
Yep.
I'd buy me one Cannon non-scent, the nose jammer.
Yeah.
Because then you can just shower with water.
blind.
Right. And I would sit on a bucket against a tree and some thick brush And that's how I would hunt, on public land.
Yeah.
And I would make sure to find
Actually-
public land that was,
habitable at the time.
you
If
know,
it was-
well, that and that was rifle during that season. Because a lot of these
Mhm.
public lands, like, you got to be drawn for rifle.
Yeah.
You got to be drawn for bow. You can only go during these days.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, if I had a little more money, I would consider trying to find a lease a little bit more north or a little bit more south,
Yeah.
wherever that may be. Because a lot of people don't know this, but like Seminole has deer hunting in Seminole. Like a lot of that land is WMA land around some of the lake.
I hear
And
a
you-
trip coming.
And you can, yes, oof. And you can deer hunt
Yeah.
these islands. But I'm going to tell you right now, those islands in Seminole, the deer that come off of them, I mean, they're about the size of this bobcat.
Oh, I was gonna say, and there probably a bunch of bones on them islands too from gators eating them deer up.
Ooh, I wonder if that'd be good shed hunting.
Mm,
Thinking of that.
It might be.
I ain't tromping around down there with them gators.
I got my Brian's cousin, he killed, I can't remember if it was a buck or a doe, but he killed a doe on one of those islands one time.
Did he really?
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And he did it out of a kayak with a boat.
Oh,
Add
okay.
that to a list.
He
Can you
put-
do that? Is that like shooting from a moving vehicle?
No. He took his lock on,
Oh, okay. I thought you were
In the
saying it was
kayak.
floating in the water.
It was in the
put
kayak.
a lock on in the tree.
Yeah.
Well, a lock on in a kayak. Okay.
Yeah. And he killed a doe.
I thought you were saying he was floating and it shot from the.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
to start off with. Then he said he had a lock on. And I was like,
Which
how did he
speaking
do
of
that?
speaking of floating, and I ain't gonna say the whole story, but I'm gonna tell a little bit of this story. I
We
wish
know of
I could tell the
somebody.
whole story because this story would be absolutely incredible. But anyways, so me and a couple of my buddies are floating the river one time. We're floating for wood ducks, obviously, but we're floating the river, and we get. I can't remember if it was halfway in between 92 and 16 or 16 and 30. 16, 30. Is it 36 next?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 362.
Yeah.
Yeah. It might even been Antioch to 92. I can't really remember. But we were floating a stretch and we were duck hunting. And it was, I'm talking about a month or two before turkey season. And we're floating, and the next thing you know, we see one turkey cross the river in front of us, and then another one, and then another one. Dude, there was like 20 birds that pretty much flew over us as we're
Yeah.
floating the river going into this next field. And it was the most incredible, which I don't know where I was fixing to go with all
I
this.
thought you were supposed to say you shot one or something like.
Yeah, we was duck hunting, but came back with a turkey.
Yeah. A big duck.
I did not shoot one.
We hunted. I
Somewhere
got
around.
a turkey duck.
I did not shoot one.
Okay.
No one shot a bird.
I'm sure, except for your buddy behind you.
No.
Some guy up the river.
You just turned around and flipped him off.
Also, another time we were floating the river, and we made this bend and we heard a big old racket coming through the woods. And this ain't a floating podcast, but I thought it was kind of cool since we're somehow on this track. But we heard this big ruckus coming from the left. I'm talking about it was a dang stampede.
Squirrel.
Next thing you know, a monster buck flies off the edge of that river, lands in the middle of the river, swimming to the other side. Coyotes chasing it.
Really?
Wow.
Watched it.
Cow, stop.
The coyote stopped right on the edge of
They
the
don't
river.
care nothing about that river.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
They did not chase it. But I'm just saying what my point is since we're somehow got on the point of,
Yeah.
I don't even know how, but we
went down a rabbit hole.
yeah, we did.
It's
But it was
okay.
cool because,
Yeah.
like, I got to see
It's good
two,
stuff.
like, turkeys flying over me, and then another trip floating a deer.
Was it the same property?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say we might have to find out where that property
Yeah.
at.
Which I will say, the next episode or two, I want to talk a little bit more about trapping.
Okay.
Got to get people into trapping.
Yeah.
And I know that this is not a trapping episode, but please, guys, if you're interested, or you want to see the turkey population go up,
Yeah.
please let us know. We will gladly show you. We'll even order the stuff for you with your credit card and show you how to do it. And you keep all the stuff, obviously.
We'll make you up a fake receipt if you need it for the honey so she don't know what you're buying.
That's right. I seen one this past week. This guy walks in and he takes a broom and he's sweeping the ceiling, and he's got his arms loaded on the other side, and his wife's looking up. He's trying to get on by so he can get in the next room. Don't want her to see what he done bought an arm.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That is so funny.
She's like, "What are you doing?" It's a bug.
Kind of true.
I mean, you know,
Well, I've done it a time or two.
trickery of the hands.
Yeah. Well, that's it, fellas.
Already, huh?
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That
Time
was a good one.
flies.
Time flies. All right.
Hope you learned something.
Yeah. And if you didn't, maybe we'll try
Stick
again the
around.
next
Yeah.
episode.
Hopefully we learned something. So
Hopefully. We did. We learned about geese.
we did learn about geese. Yep.
They do not differ. They are
They are the same colors.
Yep.
Yes. And the male squeaks louder.
yes. And the women are curvaceous.
Yeah,
Curvaceous. They got
curvaceous.
Big old
geese.
breasticus.
Yeah.
I like that one. I'm about to remember that.
All right, guys.
All righty.
Well, with the geese or whatever that it is for you, don't forget, if it makes you shake, don't wait, don't hesitate. Shoot that thing.